Take one. How does who you are affect the work that you do? It's a good question. I think it affects a lot of the work that I do. And I'm thinking of a time when I wasn't really as free to be who I am at work. And um, and what that looked like was there were lots of processes and procedures that made me bend and flex in ways that didn't feel natural to me. And so I had to learn these processes and procedures, and it was fine. But it also hindered my ability to work more creatively. It hindered my ability to do anything outside my role. Um, it made me feel like my voice was squashed and no one was interested in hearing what I had to say. And the idea was that you just had to put your nose to the grindstone and you had to do your work. And that work did tend to be a little bit more task focused, and that was fine. I did my work, but I definitely didn't feel like I was able to contribute, and I felt like I had some really great ideas because who I am is someone that I think about my thought process style, my decision making style, all of those ways that my brain has learned to work and solve problems. Went against that, and I wasn't able to bring that. So, for example, I think very big picture, and I need to see how everything's connected in order for it to make sense to me. It's not that I can't do my work when I don't see that, but I just know that when I can see everything, big picture, vision, long-term planning and strategy, how does this look in a sustainable way as opposed to just this one moment in time and how it affects the task at the moment. Because I bring that perspective, a lot of times I have different questions that I ask. I want to know a little bit more long term, and and for me, I find that I'm able to create systems that can sustain long term work as opposed to just get this thing done now. And any workplace that has allowed me to do that, I've been able to help shape things for the better, I think. At least that's what some people have told me. And I bring a new perspective. And so bringing, my whole self to work, I suppose, is that ideal. So who I am really impacts how I work, right? So these thought styles, these perspectives, it impacts, not just how I work, but then also how others work as well, I feel. I also like to hear a lot of other people's opinions, and I like to weigh those opinions before really making a decision or really, moving forward. Sometimes I move forward with my thoughts, but I'm very open to others' opinions, and I like to get others' opinions as well, and I feel like that impacts how I work. Sometimes it can impact the speed of how I work, and I realize that I've had to flex in some instances where we have to move quickly. In other instances, I realize that I kind of have to put my foot down and say, well, before we move forward with this, I know that it will impact the long term if we don't get these others' opinions in beforehand. Also, just thinking about myself, who I am, I'm someone that loves to learn, as you can see with all my books behind me. Yes, I've read all of them, and I have my Kindle now, where I have a whole other library there. I love to learn, and that really impacts who I am at work as well. So if I'm just doing the same repetitive task over and over again, I get bored quickly. It's not to say that I can't do that, but maybe in some of those repetitive task works, a person like me might need to change things up every once in a while. I really love feedback. I am someone who loves feedback and looks at it in a growth opportunity kind of way. Um, I work in areas that I'm passionate about. You know, I'm passionate about language and culture and learning about other people and social sciences and neuroscience. And, you know, but being able to apply these things in some way, shape, or form really motivates me. It keeps me driven at work. It keeps me giving 120% wherever I can. Um, I know that I'm demotivated when I can't really apply those things so much, or if I'm not encouraged to. I have a lot of hobbies as well, so if you know the other things outside of work that interest me, and sometimes I bring those in. If I don't have enough time to dedicate to those other things that I am passionate about, sometimes I can be demotivated. Um, yeah, so I think we're living in an age of knowledge work where who you are really does impact your work very strongly. And I would say the reason for that is because, you know, we have to use our brains. And there's all these studies now, and there's all these movements and finding, um, you know, what makes us creative. Because in the age of knowledge work, it's our brain power that moves things, not our muscle power. And if you don't give your brain that right kind of rest, that right injection of really, you know, those creative, inspirational moments, um, perspectives that spur that creativity and get you excited at work, you know, you lose energy. Your brain is your most hungry organ. It consumes 20% of all energy um, that our bodies consume, and that's because it's got a lot of work to do, right? And so if we're not feeding it through just breaks, through you know, just other inspirational, exciting things that, you know, is part of who we are, then I don't know that you're going to get the best work out of me. No, actually, I know that you're not going to get the best work out of me. And if you're looking for an investment and the best return on your investment, then it really behooves us to. It should motivate every manager, every coworker to do our best to get the best out of each other, to know who we are as individuals, and to really, yeah, really just encourage that, stoke that creative flame. Thank you.